All right. So, no peanut butter tonight, but I just want to talk about leadership. And specifically from a perspective of titles or the lack of titles. So, one of the joys of my job as an agile coach at work is my scope is pretty broad. And because I've got the title coach in me, I pretty much have the right, maybe, or the privilege, I'd say, of just helping out people and seeing them win. Well, that's the kick I get out of it anyway, which is to see people win. So today I had the privilege of having a conversation with one of the tech people in one of the squads that I look after, and where the conversation went to was his desire to be in a leadership position. And it was a really awesome conversation because we got to a place where we have a bit of a plan, we have a tactical plan to get him to a strategic objective of getting to a leadership position. And well, it's a strategic plan with real tactics in place to get him to make him ready for a leadership position. And whilst it's not really the scope of my role to get to their next role, I find a lot of joy in it because I get a huge kick out of not only just seeing other people win, but seeing people achieve their ambitions and really put the good in them into good use, and to have other people benefit from that, which to me is the real meaning of leadership. It's influencing people or having the level of influence on other people to lead them to a much better place than they are now. And the reason why I bring up the probably just the word or the subject of titles is that a lot of people or society tends to think that leadership is limited to having a title of some sort, being the president of a country, being a director of a company. You get the drill. But the reality is, it's about one's ability to inspire other people to action. And it's a sort of action that is good for the world and good for themselves and good for others. So if you're the sort of person who mobilizes and rallies people to action, to do things that are beyond their comfort zone, to do things that are good for others and end up serving a bigger purpose than themselves, then consider yourself a leader. You may not have the title of leader, of what a typical leader would have from an authoritarian perspective, but your influence puts you right squarely in line in a leadership position. So don't underestimate yourself. That is all. And I'm super full. I did have peanut butter again, but I just chose not to have it on this video. The other thing as well today that I had the privilege of doing is carving out a little bit of time to read the Key Person of Influence book. And it's been such a challenging book. And I think it is challenging for me from a perspective of, because it's just reminding me about how unclear I am of how I'm actually going to deliver against my mission and my purpose. My purpose is pretty broad, which is make millions of realities better or make billions of realities better. But the execution of that and how I make that super tangible is super hard. And as a result, 1.3 is like suffering from it. So the lack of perhaps clarity and the broadness of it makes it really hard for the brand to really tug the heartstrings of the right person that it needs to speak to, because I don't think I've made it clear enough who I'm speaking to is yet. But I'm excited because now that I know that I'm not clear about it, I think the clarity would just come, and I suppose that's probably not accurate. Like I will carve out like the underlying sort of workings of my brain will figure out a way to just piece it all together and to craft a vision and to craft a pitch and a proposition that's like super strong and super compelling that it really plugs a gap, not just in the market but in people's lives.